Hey, guess what? That was really exciting, right? Now, this is what's really exciting. These two phases, coolest ones ever. This is when all the magic happens, okay? This is when those chromosomes that are just hanging out there, getting ready to be moved, from one cell to the other, they get ripped in half. Ripped! Like totally right in half. So violently, half of them go to one side and half of them go to the other side, so that when we end up at the end, we had one cell that had 46 chromosomes, but now we're going to have two cells identical to each other that both have 46 chromosomes. The only way to do that is for them to get ripped in half. So this is when that happens, okay? This is kind of cool. So metaphase is going to be that what happens right after prophase and prometaphase. Metaphase is probably the most identifiable one under the microscope. It's really super easy to point out, okay? And I'm going to show you in a moment. But metaphase, if you remember from our notes, is that when all the chromosomes go single file right down the central, they line up right down the middle of the cell. Crazy. They look like this, right down the center, okay? And you have these centrioles that have moved to either side. These centrioles actually grow these fibers and they come to the center and they grab onto those chromosomes. And as soon as it's ready, it's going to rip it apart. Okay. So these centrioles are growing these spindle fiber things. They're kind of like elastics almost. So they're going to grab onto those chromosomes and very violently, boom, pull them apart. Crazy. That happens in anaphase. So in metaphase, they're getting ready to be ripped apart. Okay, so this is when they line up. They get ready. They don't even know their fate. Nope, they don't. It's going to happen. They're going to get ripped apart. Yep, that's what it is. So down here, this is what it actually looks like under the microscope, okay? This one right here, these are all the chromosomes lined up in the center. And you can see the spindle fibers right there kind of hanging out, all attached, okay? They're ready to go. And these guys don't even know what's going to happen yet. Nope, they're going to get ripped in half in a second. So moving over to anaphase, this is right after they were all lined up. Now these spindle fibers that are attached to the centrioles are going to do that ripping apart. They're working like rubber bands and they're going to rip it apart. Yeah, just like that. Very violent. So this down here represents those chromosomes being ripped apart. And you can still see some spindle fibers in there. So this literally is metaphase and anaphase right next to each other in this specific microscope depiction here. So you can actually see two of them right next to him. Now remember, all of these cells are going to go through division all at different times. So you're going to see, when you look under the microscope, we're going to see all different types of phases of mitosis because every cell's doing its own thing. But these two, very identifiable. Go ahead, once you've drawn them, draw either metaphase or anaphase if you see them, and you're going to first label the chromosomes, which is easy because here they're right down the center. Chromosomes are ripped apart up here. You're going to also label the centrioles. That's what either end is. Up here you can see the centrioles on either end. And the spindle fibers, that's what's ripping them apart. Okay, so in here you can see the centrioles would be here and the spindle fibers, chromosomes. So those three things, chromosomes, centrioles, spindle fibers, and we're good to go. Can't wait to see you next time.